Restored truth taught that God's glory is his intelligence, and that it is to be our glory as well. Out of that tradition for learning, that near unquenchable thirst for knowledge, has come this university.
The history of Brigham Young University is a history of sacrifice for higher goals.
There are legions, there are thousands of faithful people who've made this institution what it is. We owe those people so much.
BYU came to being 150 years ago as just being a way to support the local community in education.
Carl G. Mazur was asked to come down and preside over the university by Brigham Young.
He said, I'm sending you to Provo to create a school, and I want you to see that not even the multiplication tables are taught without the Spirit of the Lord.
At the very first of the university, we were hard put to meet salaries. We paid the faculty in turnips. I hope that we never lose that spirit of sacrifice.
Every year it was financial disaster. Every month it was, we're not going to pay the bills. We're not going to be able to pay the faculty. President Mazur wrote, I'm worn out and sick in spirit.
Told his wife and his daughter that they were going to move. And then they sat on the boxes for 2 days. Finally, the daughter said to her father, when are we leaving?
His response was, I've changed my mind. We're not moving. I've had a dream. I have seen Temple Hill filled with buildings, great temples of learning, and I've decided to remain and do my part.
I used to ride my horse all over this area. It was all vacant land. There was only a couple of buildings over on the southwest corner of campus. I've literally watched the campus grow, every single building.
As you look at the growth of this university, it is remarkable.
It's important to recognize that from 1875, the futures and the interactions and the involvements of both the community and BYU have been intertwined.
For me, a university is a crucial part of a community. It's a crucial part of an individual. It's a crucial part of who we can become.
We are taught here to develop the light that we have within us, and we share that then with the community.
A popular adage at BYU is enter to learn, go forth to serve. It's a phrase that has inspired our community for generations and that invites us to use our talents and education for the benefit of others.
People joked about it as being Happy Valley. It is. It's a great place to be. This valley is humming with the influence of wonderful, bright, enthusiastic young people.
You're talking 35,000 students, thousands upon thousands of employees here.
Who live throughout Utah Valley, not just in Provo. That has an economic impact. It's a big employer in the valley. At one point, the biggest. I'm not sure what the exact numbers are at this point.
A study that just been finished a short time ago learned that BYU faculty plus staff plus students spent $289 million in this valley.
One of the reasons that this is such a special place for us is, as I was at BYU, I had started WordPerfect Corporation, which became the #1 selling software company in the world. A number of the people working at Novell and at WordPerfect had employees that came from BYU, and they were the sharpest and the very best in the world.
What's happened at Silicon Slopes is remarkable, and if you go look at some of the founders of those companies, very many of those are BYU graduates.
I would say very seriously that BYU has always been one to set the tone of community involvement for employers throughout this valley. BYU got together with other business leaders and said, this community needs a United Way. In 1963, when United Way was started, it was a much smaller community. But BYU leadership, continuing on, had this foresight saying, we need to keep watching out for the community. And United Way has been relying on BYU for partnership, support, research, volunteerism ever since that day.
As I looked at these past presidents, they have all been pillars, they have been leaders, and they have led BYU at each stage to a new height.
After his inaugural year as president of BYU, the Provo Daily Herald ran a story that read in part, "Dynamic, youthful, with hardly time to get his feet wet, President Oaks adopted a new academic calendar, made plans for an addition to the library, involved students in fundraising, discontinued one college and reorganized two others, re-emphasized the university's no-nonsense policy on dress and behavior, set up programs to tighten and improve the curriculum, and initiated a whole series of moves to delegate authority to deans, department chairs, and faculty, and to clarify lines of operation." Whew, I'm tired just reading that. It's worth noting that President Oaks accomplished all this while simultaneously standing up BYU's law school, which, according to his biographer, required finding a dean, identifying faculty, locating space for the first classes, acquiring a law library, and planning to construct a new law building.
He was a wonderful legal scholar and had been at Chicago. He argued successfully with the government that we could hire Latter-day Saint faculty.
During President Oaks' administration, we received congratulations for the birth of our children each year.
He said he was thrilled to have them join the family, the BYU family. It was very sweet for me because, of course, I was wrapped up in motherhood at that time.
When Jeffrey R. Holland came, he could make people laugh and make people cry. He was a wonderful wordsmith. It was during that time that BYU football team had the national championship.
I always think of it as such an exciting time. We had the Ramses exhibit at the trust of the Egyptian government. We were establishing the Jerusalem Center. And we had one of our students was crowned Miss America, which was a very big deal at the time.
We were the last family to live in the BYU President's home, and we loved it. We just absolutely loved it. What a blessing it was in my life to watch my father preside over that institution, and to not only see how much he gave to the university during that time frame, but how much he remained a father during that time frame. Everybody has a Jeff Holland memory, and some of the stories that move me the most are some of the simplest.
On a rainy day on our campus, President Holland, then BYU's 9th president, saw a student caught in a downpour. The student's name was Matt. President Holland rolled down his window and beckoned Matt to come over. Sister Holland was in the car as well, and they offered Matt a ride home. Unbeknownst to the Hollands, Matt was uncertain about his future and didn't know if he could make it. He opened up about his worries, and they assured Matt that he could and he would make it. "Matt, part of your problem is that you don't believe," President Holland finally put it bluntly. "Oh, I'm not talking about your testimony," he went on. "Rather, you just believe that God will work his mighty miracles for everyone but you." And then President Holland underscored the point. "You gotta believe, Matt. You just gotta believe."
The next president was Rex E. Lee, and he started an annual giving fund for the alumni.
I don't think raising money was something he was particularly excited about, but I think it was something that energized him because it mattered to him how much it could build the foundation of the university.
He was somehow able to combine community, church, BYU, family, all together into one big bundle.
Rex Lee brought the Day of Caring to the BYU campus and said we ought to be hosting it. And that started the tradition here on campus.
Whenever I would come back and walk around the campus with him, we would run into people on campus, and without exception, every time we'd run into somebody, he'd say, "Tom, I want to introduce you to so-and-so. And this person is the world's greatest fill in the blank." There was always something.
It wasn't very long after the inauguration he was diagnosed with another cancer. It was a second cancer. He had gone into remission in the first. And we knew that this cancer was not one that could go in remission, but they could keep it at bay. And that's what he did during the remainder of his presidency. And I think sometimes when we're given a time limit, we are a little more eager to make each day count. And perhaps that was part of the magic of that period of time. it was also an example to the community of someone who could do hard things and do them well and do them with an eye single to the glory of the Lord. And I think that was one of the legacies that he left.
If I could use one word to describe President Bateman's tenure, it would be bold. He championed our students, our faculty. He met head-on some difficult situations, but it was a time that we had President Hinckley was on 60 Minutes. We had the build-up and the glory of the Olympics at that time. We had research from our faculty on the cover of Nature and other esteemed journals. All of this was happening at this time, and President Bateman met all of these matters just head on.
But he was also a remarkable academic. He'd been dean of our business school. He'd been the presiding bishop for the church. So he had a real worldwide vision and experience.
President Merrill Bateman literally volunteered with me one Christmas time and helped deliver presents to the needy at our Supper Santa activities.
President Samuelson, he came to BYU at the request of the Board of Trustees. He was asked to come for a short term, and he was here 11 years. Almost from day one, President Samuelson had every college, every department, every area assessing and prioritizing its goals, its expectations, its needs. The resource planning process had been established by President Bateman, and President Samuelson built upon that resource planning process and also expected a lot of responsibility and discipline by every area.
In Cease's time, the university and the country was going through a kind of financial hard time. And so he was told by the brethren, no new resources.
And I watched my peers at large private universities with huge endowments, they had to lay people off. And because of President Samuelson's work leading up to the recession and the trust that the board had in him, we certainly made some deep budget cuts. We had restrictions, we had hiring freezes, but we did not have to lay people off. President Worthen is one of the most calm, level-headed, rational people I have ever known. And this was such a great benefit to us during his tenure. There were a lot of unprecedented challenges facing not just BYU, but the nation and the world at the time. Least among those was COVID.
Part of that was the remarkable way in which everyone came together to keep the university open with not just online classes, but in-person classes, allowing people to interact with each other.
President Worthen is such a friend to the students. He has such love for them. He established the Inspiring Learning Initiative.
This idea that you need to involve your students in your research and not just teach out of old notes, teach out of things you're learning.
And he was constantly working to raise the bar, where in the classroom, outside of the classroom, every student receives an education that inspires them and that they in turn can then go out and inspire others with that education that they've received. It's something that President Reese is building on today. What I have seen in my time, every president gives everything they have to this position.
I think the call to be the president of this divinely inspired and glorious university is amazing, but it's a call for two people. Each one of them was married to a dynamic, articulate, talented, and gifted woman, and that they gave their heart and soul as well.
I love BYU, and I loved it from the beginning when I was a student.
There's just no finer university, I think, any place in the United States of America. It's singular, it's different.
I will be forever indebted to BYU and the foundation it laid for me professionally, spiritually, ecclesiastically, civically. I can't praise the institution enough for what it means to me.
For me, one of the really miraculous things of the university is when, on Sunday, when classrooms become places you take the sacrament with a Bunsen burner right by the sacrament trays. Well, That's kind of just as an image of BYU's dual mission.
I'm so grateful that I'm associated with BYU.
In my occasional locker room contact with Coach Edwards, I have heard him say, "Do not forget what got you here."
The Pillar of the Valley is not just an award to a collection of individuals. It's an award to what they represent, including all the other people they represent at that institution. The presidents of Brigham Young University are all eminently worthy of this Pillar of the Valley award.